The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308 and don't miss a single six, wicket or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Calling all Soccerholics! The highly anticipated soccer pop-up party of the season is back! Follow us to a different location every Friday night from 8 p.m. from May 10th to June 14th for the Barbados Lottery White Oak Rum 98.1 The One Soccer Stop Pop-Up Party. We bring you the music and giveaways, and you bring the vibes and the action.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning.
Good morning on this Friday, June 7th. Welcome to another Morning Barbados presentation. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be in studio with you until 8 o'clock this morning. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. I'm going to have a good day today. We have lots of things planned for you as we continue to spice up your mornings because it's crop over, it's cricket. We are celebrating in big ways, and there's lots to do and see. We want to make sure that we are tapping into everything that's happening along with you. Of course, for those of you joining us online, it's wonderful to have you as well, waking up every day and getting a little taste of your beloved Barbados. So thank you so much for making us your morning go-to. Now, I have a note that I have to read before we move on, because a number of people had a wonderful experience heading off to cricket yesterday, and they told me you must say a special good morning and thank you to those working the shuttle service from Queen's College down to the Oval for the Transport Board. So a big good morning and special shout out to those of you who are working the service. I'm told it's running like clockwork and you're doing a fantastic job, personable, kind, everything that goes along with excellent service. And I'm happy to shout out those people who are doing well, because we are often very, very quick to point out if people are not. So this morning, we want to give a hearty Morning Barbados shout out to Karen Webster, Wayne Nurse, and Aishan Aline of the Transport Board Shuttle Service. Thank you so much for your excellent service. It has not gone unnoticed. So on today's program, we have a lot coming up, and I'm hoping that you can stick around for the entire time. But remember, we're offered on demand. We stream live on YouTube, so you can go back and watch us later tonight if you miss everything. Karen Graves is going to be here, Kristen Graves rather. She is a professional, inspirational keynote speaker, author, and entrepreneur. And we're going to get to know her a little bit better. There's so many people in Barbados who are doing excellent work, and we want to take the time out to really get to know them, talk about what they're doing, and figure that out. All right. Also coming up today is Neil Waith. He is Actor of the Year. Voted Actor of the Year by you for the Going On Awards 2024 for visual and performance. And he's going to be in, he's a visual and performance artist, really, and he's going to be in to share more about that and tell us how he felt on winning that prestigious award, because it's the People's Award. It's all about you. You're the one who decides exactly who will win. Now, Banks Breweries, they're going to be in today. Janelle Germain, the growth manager here in Barbados. She's going to be in to talk to us a little bit about the history of Banks. They're embarking on something new with our queue, and we're going to tell you all about it so you can be a part of it too. Hear me rhyming? I should write a crop over song, right? Yeah, but we're going to tell you what inspired the combination of cricket, crop over, and for the Here for the Party campaign, where they're encouraging you to make sure that you are there for the party. And then, of course, we are doing a fantastic Fresh Friday as we bring you some of the entertainment that's already out on the scenes. Carrie Ann, Carrie Holford, Sam will be in, and she is performing. She started back in 2023, and she's back in 2024. Michael Boyne is here. If there's anybody who can tell me who that is, but before he comes on, we might have a gift for you. So Michael Boyne is going to be performing. Do you know who that is? We'll see. So we'll tell you exactly when you can jump in and share about that. But over the last few weeks, we've been telling you all about the SIDS conference, Small Island Developing States Conference, that came off quite recently. And on the heels of that, there was also the SIDS Global Children and Youth Action Summit. Now, we have a new president for the Barbados Youth Development Council in Caleb Brathwaite, and he joins me this morning to talk more about his involvement with that summit. Good morning, Caleb.
Good morning, Tisha.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's my first time sitting down with you as the president of the BYDC. So talk to me about your journey to becoming a member first of the Barbados Youth Development Council and now ascending to the presidency.
So, you know, oftentimes when people are given the opportunity to speak about their journey, you know, they often highlight that of the positive. But my journey to being the president of the Barbados Youth Development Council, the National Youth Council of Barbados, was not an easy journey. If you want to put it in a Barbadian parlance, it was filled with many potholes. So I could even go as far back as secondary school. In secondary school, was never that perfect student. I was not even that a student, really and truly. And to this day, I would have recently graduated with my law degree, and come September, be doing my master's in law. And in secondary school, I guess I was still somewhat vocal. I was always that student who, if I disagree with something, I'm going to say I disagree with it. But of course, still provide that solution, and still just don't be rude in it. Be diplomatic in your responses. And I always recognized from at a tender age that I had a greater purpose, and it was always somewhat service oriented, always looking to help, always looking to try my best to see how best can I assist others, given the fact that I had the ability to do so. So coming out to second high school, I would have attended the Barbados Community College, and while studying, I would have obtained an associate degree in law and government political studies. In my second year at BCC, I would have joined the Students Guild. At that time, I would have served as Director of Communications of the BCC Students Guild, and that is really, truly my service-oriented journey would have started. While serving as Director of Communication, I would have founded my own charitable youth organization called the Belfield Youth Council, which is located in Belfield, Blackrock, and which caters to the positive development of young people as well as community empowerment. Actually, come Sunday, will be 5 years since I would have founded that organization. And through that, what I would have done is I would have registered the Belfield Council under the Barbados Youth Development Council. And that would have been, as I said, about 5 or 4 years ago. And since then, it was always service-oriented, always looking to give back, looking to see how best can I assist others. And what would have happened is through that journey is that I would have recognized that I look at the youth development space in Barbados, and I recognize that even though that our country is punching above its weight in relation to youth development, that is the truth. Because I would have had the opportunity to go to the 10th Commonwealth Youth Ministers meeting back in London in September, and I was sitting around the room in the secretariat, and you hear all of these ministers from Ghana, ministers from Canada talking about all this work that they have to do. Barbados already have this established youth development system, but is it working for us as young people? No. Is it as effective as it ought to be? No. And I would have put my hat in the ring to become president of the Barbados Youth Development Council under a mandate of Better Together to see how best that collectively as the Barbados Youth Development Council can transform the youth development space to ensure that it's better for our member organizations, because as BYDC, we are the umbrella organization for all youth groups in this country. So every single youth group falls under us, and we are essentially the collective voice of young people, colloquially referred to as a youth cabinet. So from time to time, government will call on us to add that much youth voice. I would have actually had the opportunity to recently serve on a committee. Probably you'll hear more about that, the work of that community to add that youth representation. So being president, BYDC, and the journey to this was not an easy road. And as my term, I served 3 years because my term will go up until 2026. It is not going to be an easy road. I would have taken up the mantle to ensure that it's better together, not only for member organizations, but for all young people in this country. And if you're wondering, young people are up to the age of 35. So they're still young up until the age of 35. So yes.
Yeah, so I kind of heard that before. I don't buy it. We've extended it by a few years. However, I'm happy to hear that you're so passionate. I can see that you are indeed committed to what you're doing, and you've been doing it for quite some time.
Yes.
And we most certainly would like to delve into the work that you're doing in a far greater way, especially considering all that's happening with young people in Barbados, how things have changed and how they're being impacted negatively, and how that's affecting the community overall as well. But we also love to highlight the positive things that young people are doing. So there's balance, because we know that where there's deviance, that's usually a few, and there's so many doing positive things that we need to make sure that there's balance in the way we present it. So we are indeed committed to that, especially in the way that you have been heading out and representing Barbados, particularly at the summit, the SID summit that just passed. We talked to Ashley Lashley a few days about it. As something that she helped to conceptualize. So talk to us now about your experience with that particular summit.
Let me touch on the point of highlighting the positive experiences as young people. Even in terms of adding that youth voice to national discourse. And I really would have grasped the opportunity to be here speaking in front of you. And many times young people do not always have that opportunity to speak. Or far less alone, they might even be scared of the cameras and everything. And it just requires some personal development to ensure that that young person be strengthened. But I can even speak from a Barbados Youth Development Council standpoint. Many times there are topical issues which requires a youth voice to be able to ensure that the direction is steered takes into considerations young people's interests. And to be frank, if you allow me to, we would have actually sent correspondence to CBC. And I don't see CBC post it. CBC doing nothing. And even in terms of when CBC covers highlighting youth issues, even though that this is being streamed live, you will highlight it in terms of the internet and everything. But you know the average person is more on social media, this phone. But then you know what, y'all don't cover it on social media. So I really believe that it must start from home in terms of highlighting and making sure that positive work young people is doing good. And it doesn't require that you have to have a politician there, because I would have done a community event. And CBC was there and was grateful for the coverage. It was covered last year, April 2023. And you know why they came? Because the ministers were there. And the Prime Minister was supposed to attend, but she couldn't, and she would have signed 2 ministers on her behalf because the ministers were there. And that should not be the case.
Absolutely, and I thoroughly agree with you. And there's much to be done, and there's much to change about the way things are covered, how they're done. I hear you when you say these things. I work in this industry, so I understand how it works. And I know how important it is to have a voice for the youth. As a member of or chairman of the Barbados Youth Parliament, I understand where you're coming from, and I get your passion, because I was a part of some of the first Barbados youth parliamentarians. So we're on the same page. We come from the Black Rock area, went to school at St. Stephen's. We have a lot in common, a lot of parallels. And I'm happy that you are so open and honest. When I say we are committed to coverage, I'm speaking specifically about Mornin Barbados. And I know there's much more that we can do across the corporation to be able to engage, showcase, highlight young people a lot more. And I thank you for that challenge.
Thank you very much.
I most certainly hope the powers that be are listening and taking note, and I will share your message as well.
Thank you very much.
So absolutely, happy to be reminded of what we need to do. One select thing in terms of the coverage, what we do here is always shared online as well. And unlike social media, straight up social media platforms, what we have is a platform where we can leverage both. So our reach can be far greater in terms of reaching people of your age. Might be a little different if we break down demographics, but that's something we can talk about behind the scenes. Now to my original question, sir, which we shan't get through today, so I absolutely will have to invite you back, because you're here to talk about the SIDS conference, but I don't know how much of that we'll get through. So I think we can pencil you in for next week already.
Okay, great. So let me focus on the SIDS conference. So as you would have probably know, the first SIDS conference was held in Barbados a couple years ago. Don't know, I can't remember the exact time off my head. But this
it was 2017 or so.
2017? No, it would be
a
19.
Earlier than
yes,
that.
19, because at that time
or 1997. It's something with the 7 though.
Yes, because the deputy president to the Senate, Ambassador Liz Thompson, would have been involved in that back then. And now it has returned to the Caribbean. The fourth SIDS conference is a conference that's held every 10 years. And I would have had the opportunity to go to represent Barbados, not only at the Global Children and Youth Action Summit, the Children and Youth Part, but also at the main conference. And as I said already, it is always good to be able to ensure that you add your voice to every single thing that you do. So while at the SIDS conference, we would have done a 10-year commitment call to action document. Young people, we would have reached about 8,500 people in terms of consultations. So it's a document that we would have consulted online and in person. Barbados actually had the first opportunity to host that first in-person consultation and to really help guide the other consultations which would have followed. And this 10-year commitment action document is basically, young people understand that they have challenges. And what we would have done is that we would have actually highlighted those challenges and come up with solutions, and to be able to present it to world leaders at the main SIDS conference. well, in Antigua and Barbuda, we were there for 3 days, and we would have really dived in terms of pictures, because not only were we presented this 10-year commitment action document, but what we would have also done is look at creating projects to be able to help various funders to help us as young people to actualize these projects.
Okay, so you were charged with presenting how you think the Barbadian youth need to be represented in this sphere in relation to issues that affect small island developing states. What are some of the major things that you brought to bear?
So also, we would look at environmental integrity and planet sustainability, recognizing that a small and developing state, the climate crisis, as the Prime Minister often refers to it, is really truly a serious problem affecting us as young people. And recognizing that for young people to survive, we have to ensure that we have some place to first live. We would also look at in terms of ensuring that the institutions that which already exist actually cater for young people, and even in terms we would look at employment. Employment is a serious problem, and well, in Antigua and Barbuda, I would have had the opportunity to make a case in front of His Excellency Sir Rodney Williams, the Governor General of Antigua and Barbuda, along with Baroness Patricia Scotland, the Commonwealth Secretary General, about what I consider to be the corporate social responsibility crisis in Barbados. And speaking to youth advocates in Antigua and Barbuda, is actually that of a global crisis, and that of the much needed financial donations which must be inputted into the youth development work. And because, as I told them frankly, young people have the solutions to the challenges that we face as young people, but also to the challenges that we face in terms of nationally. But when we go to action those challenges, there's no financial resources. I remember doing a project in Barbados. I wanted to host a community soccer round. Actually, I would have had the opportunity to speak about it on the program End the Violence, and I wanted to do it in May. We reached out to about 13 companies right in Barbados, and we know which are profitable. And we only had one financial donation, $1,000, and I would like to publicly thank Williams Industries for giving us that $1,000 to do the project, but we had to renegotiate it to be able to put it into another project. There is a crisis, and I would have made the plea last year, actually 2023, and I would have made the plea in Antigua and Barbuda, and if you probably watch the video, you could see all the youth advocates in the room is just shake, yes, nodding that there is a crisis. And the thing about it is, in a Barbadian sense, we have the Income Tax Act, which allows for charitable donations to
be written off.
And you know that the companies don't. I don't understand. I actually would have written an article about it, and I would like to make the plea publicly that corporate Barbados must do right by youth development in this country, must do more to support youth development, because when you support youth, you support the future of this country.
I agree. And where there's responsibility, there's also action. So I think it's important that as youth, you're also sure that you are presenting the best possible packages, and you have the right people to be able to share, because sometimes things are done so informally. As somebody who has worked with charitable organizations and so on in the past, I know that sometimes businesses are not as open as they should be to supporting initiatives, but they have an obligation a lot of the times to their the people who are in positions of authority or power. A lot of them have been decentralized in terms of the operations that determine what is sponsored and so on. So we have to make sure that we follow a certain professional framework of requesting sponsorship and partnership. And I find that a lack of planning is what a lot of our organizations, not only youth, suffer from. So we want to come and ask a business in September for help for November or vice versa.
Correct.
So we have to get into the habit of really planning ahead so that we truly are able to give them an opportunity to factor in how they can support and maybe look at how we are presenting ourselves as well. But I can agree that that corporate Barbados needs to
But
support
if I
a
may,
little bit more.
is that they also, as for lack of better words, that they must be courteous in the way they do things. Because we sent emails, and you don't get response to emails as well. You do follow-up calls. We did follow-up calls. I remember this one company in Barbados. We did a follow-up call. Hey, you're not in today. They're not in today, and you know what happened is we called another time. Oh, you know, in the meeting. It seems like every day,
Yeah,
every
so
week
it seems
there's
like
a
they were
meeting.
avoiding you.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. I know, Caleb, you have to come back. We have to speak with Caleb. Caleb is going to be on a whole lot more in future. But it's wonderful to see that you have this spirit. Keep it.
Yeah, so we're trying my best.
And as a representative of a youth group, I think a lot of the times people are pushed into a corner to be politically correct, and you most certainly don't fit that mold. Stay on your path. Yeah?
Yes.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you very much.
All right, so this is Caleb Brathwaite, President of the Barbados Youth Development Council, and representing the youth of Barbados, not only the mainstream things we're talking about, but youth on the fringes, which is equally as important. So it's time for another break. When we come back, we have somebody else. We're going to get to know him well also. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308, and don't miss a single six, wicket, or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game with Domino's and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Calling all Soccerholics! The highly anticipated soccer pop-up party of the season is back! Follow us to a different location every Friday night from 8 p.m. from May 10th to June 14th for the Barbados Lottery White Oak Rum 98.1 The One Soccer Stop Pop-Up Party. We bring you the music and giveaways, and you bring the vibes and the action.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere.
All right, so welcome back to Morning Barbados on this Friday. Yeah, I'm happy it's Friday. I know you're happy it's Friday too. Oh my goodness. It's been a long week, right? I don't know, this week felt a little longer, maybe because of everything that happened with cricket and this and that and the other. Hey, I have to say good morning to David Davis.
Hey, good morning.
D2, morning, how are you?
Morning, I'm great.
Listen, we were working extra overtime trying to make the studio look extra pretty because you
guys
are
did
here.
did a pretty decent job.
That he said it's pretty decent, fellas.
I was sitting and looking at it, and you know.
You were thinking about tweaks you can make?
Yeah.
Jump right in. You know, for those people who don't know, you are the go-to person when it comes to a lot of major events and corporate events and so on in terms of decor.
Yeah. 24 years under my belt.
Wow.
Events decorating.
And you
Unbelievable
started out doing show windows.
Right. I started out doing show windows at K Shepherd. Actually, I started out, in this arena, but in my working life, I started out being a porter at K Shepherd.
Nice. How does a porter move to the place where they recognize you have a knack for decorating the show windows? How did that happen?
So everything in my life, when I look back at it, I guess I would say the hands of God was always on me, because as a porter, they needed a sign in delivery. These are the delivery boys. And I took off a piece off a box and I wrote, "No eating or drinking in delivery by order of management." And I stuck it on the door. And Mr. Richard Simpson came in and saw the sign, and he took it down and said, "Whoever did this, come to my office now." In my head, I telling myself again, for reading the sign. So he went to the office and he said, "You wrote this?" I said, "Yes." He said, "With your hands?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "We use a computer." But at that time, I didn't know nothing about computers either. I said, I don't know. He said, "Well, tomorrow I want you to report to Miss Davis." And that was in the display department. And that was the beginning of my steps towards this. Simple as that.
That's wonderful stuff. And I've heard so many stories about K Shepherd as it was then and how they permitted people to move through the company.
Yes,
so
yes.
it's wonderful to be able to celebrate
for him to see that, and push me in that direction. I mean, like I'm thankful.
And Mr. Simpson stuck around for many, many years. Listen,
many
we
years.
get it off track. Just like the last guest, you might have
all
to come
is
back.
part of the same.
It is true, because
Trust me.
you're here because you can now add author.
Yes, yes.
To that. You've written a book, D2. Listen, anytime I see your name come up, this is the last thing I would ever think of. So what got you to this place?
And for me, it ain't something that I went after either. Just like everything else, it just came. It just happened. People always look into me and my wife as a ideal couple. And I would meet ladies and they would say, "I wish I had a man like you." And I would say to them, "Not you wish you had a man like me. You wish that you should be a woman like my wife, because if you understand the things my wife went through for us to get to this place, then I don't know if we would have made it." You know what I mean? And then I started writing the story of my love life with my wife. 27 years married, 30 years together. And I wanted to be totally honest, because I wanted people to see that you can reach this stage, but you gotta put in some work. You gotta go in the engine room, you gotta get on some grease, you know what I mean? You gotta feel some heat. And in the book, I was able to take the readers through in detail, what it took us to get to where we are now.
How do you feel about sharing that openly? Because I've known you for a number of years, and I know sometimes, when you know people on a personal level, it's a little different. We know stories, but to share it in this way,
right?
It's all out there. You're putting everything outside.
I know that anything that in your shortcomings that you don't come to grips with, you become a prisoner of that. You know what I mean? I put it out now, but these are things that was on my back, probably like a weight for a long time. I feel so free. A lot of people, we live in a small society. I put it in a book, but I guess a lot of people knew it before.
Yeah. Your children, your daughters, beautiful daughters, are now in their 20s. So they're growing.
Big women now.
Did you have to seek some permission? Did you feel like, okay, the family, they have to vet this? Did Christine, your wife, vet this before you were able to put it out? Did you ask permission?
There are parts of the book that I said I can't read this. And she told me that if you can tell the story, I'll tell the whole story.
Oh, man.
If you can tell the story, tell the whole story.
Love Christine.
And I guess,
for
too,
that.
because she understands how we feel about, because it started on Facebook. And to me, the people that follow me on Facebook, they are like family from the Tambourine Royal Show.
Yes.
And these people that I interface with on a daily basis, people inbox me. We actually have conversations. It ain't just like I wake up and put something on social media for people to consume. Like when I leave here, I go in to have breakfast with a elderly lady who she saw me posting some bakes and stuff, and she wanted to taste the bakes, so I can buy some bakes and go and sit and have coffee and bakes with her. So like I try to take it beyond social media. So Christine know how I feel about these people. So she tell me if you can write the story, write the whole story. Let them know exactly the things that you went through and the kind of caterpillar you was to become the butterfly that they think you are.
Oh, that's sweet. What would you say was the toughest story to get down on paper?
Infidelity. Something that, as a young man growing up in Barbados, I would have seen it being celebrated in certain circles. Naturally, I ended up, you know what I mean, finding myself in a situation. And when it came to a halt, and I look at the contrast between being over there and over here, I started to shrink. I started to feel so little, because when it came to a halt, I would stand up in front of my wife and my 2 children. And that was the hardest, toughest moment for me to digest. You know what I mean? And I guess that would have jolted me to come to the realization that as a man, I cannot be these people that I love so much. You know, I can't be hurting them in the way I hurt them, and it should never happen again.
Yeah, what do you want people to take away when they look at this book? And it's not written in the traditional sense.
Nah.
Usually we have people here, and you know, we comment a lot about you know, the input from graphic artists and this and that. And here you are, kind of carrying on. It's like a reversal from being online, because it's written as though it's online.
It is.
Fully with the emojis and everything.
It is. It started
so
online.
It's almost like a reversal.
It is.
Yeah.
It started online, and everybody online was telling me, you should read a book. I mean, the amount of people that was sharing and, you know what I mean, commenting about the story when it started and telling me, you need to read a book. When I got to the point where somebody reached out and said, hey, I want to edit the book for you. I said, okay. And then when she went back and started reading stories, saying, you know what? You don't need to change anything here. You just need to do this as this is, because it captures the essence of exactly what you want to say, how you want to say it. You know, like some people tell me when they read it, but they can hear my voice talking, because it is just like how it's taught. You know what I mean? I've had 2 females in particular come up to me and tell me, if you had written this book 5 years ago, I would still be married, because I'm convinced I got a lot of good people that go apart for simple things. People don't understand that love is something that you have to work on and nurture every single day. You know what I mean? I could look at myself and I could honestly say the person that I was back then. If I was a woman, I never could deal with myself. But over time, and having a loving, understanding, and caring wife, she was able to work with me to help mold and shape me, having patience with me as I work and mold and shape myself.
Also a great deal of strength
as well. A lot. I mean, like around every corner, every problem is an opportunity to grow. And if you grow through your problems, you become big, you become better. Life to me is a school. Some people just stop doing life because the problems that they were having when they were young, they're repeating. So you stop down, you're really elevating yourself in that regard, you know? So as it relates to my wife and I must say that the Lord has blessed me with a woman that, I mean, like, words can't explain the kind of woman that she is. And she said to me that going through all of those things back then, she had her eyes on the man that I could be. She know that she's working with this man here, but she can see the man that I can become. So the takeaway is that love can work if you work it.
Now, in referring to people who said that when they read the book, that they can almost hear you because it's written in the way that you speak. We know that for a long time you've been a champion for all things Bajan.
Yeah.
And I had a great opportunity to be on 94.7 FM, the first station here at CBC dedicated to 100% Bajan music. So I know that's been something that you've worked on. Now, in the contents, the various sections are named pretty interesting by some pretty interesting titles. But we have some Bajanisms in here too.
Yeah.
So I love that. Like, I God be mad, God GAW, and you're writing some dialect.
Yeah. I wanted to come across exactly how, like, if we're having a conversation right now, you know what I mean? Even the punctuations, everything. I just wanted to feel that way. I wanted people to capture exactly where it was in my head. you know what I mean, as I evolve and transform through all these rough waters to come to a place where there's some kind of calm. And right now, yeah, I could say that where we are in our love life is like if we just met. You know what I mean? People just ask me, how you could be with the same woman for 30 years? I tell them I wasn't with the same woman, because if she was the same woman she was when I met her, and I would have grown the way I've grown, I don't think we would be compatible. So she's grown, she's evolved, and around every corner I'm meeting somebody new.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Yeah? Who was the first person to read the book?
Who was the first person to read the book? It would be the editor.
Well, you know what I mean, not the editor. You know, who did you want to read this book first then? Who did you want to
my wife
share this with?
My wife read it first. I gave one to both my daughters because their friends were following it on social media and telling me, "Father, read these things." You know what I mean? But the book has traveled far and wide. I got followers all the way in New York or in Canada, as far as Germany that purchased the book.
Listen, guys, are we spending more time with D2? Are we going to give him more time? Or are we have to say bye? Goodbye, D2.
No more time?
The book is called I Am Love. It's by D2, David Davis. And, I'm happy that you're able to put another notch on your belt in this way.
Thank you.
Adding the title of author as well. I know that you champion a lot of causes, but most importantly, you champion love. And we had a conversation years ago that I think is a true precursor to this book. I think that was a real turning point for you.
Right.
And it was on Broad Street. I can't remember.
I find it to remember the conversation.
But I'll remind you when we're off air.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, but this is beautiful. I'm happy.
And that's book 1 because I got a rated book 2, and I can see a 3 and a 4. I can see a whole series.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I love that.
I mean, I've had amazing life thus far, and I got so much to talk about, and I overcome so many things. You know what I mean?
All right, they're wrapping you up, man.
Wrap me up.
Yeah, but it's wonderful to have it. Where can we get the book?
I have the book. Is at Summonils, which is my wife's salon. You can get it from Jeans Inc. in Sheraton Center and Sky Bar at Sky Mall.
All right, so make sure you pick up the book and read it. It's a really interesting read. You will love it. And then, of course, we maybe have to do a table talk for people to go through it. And we'd love to film that.
That'd be great. I think Yvette Belgrave.
All right, we got to go. We're going to continue talking.
Yeah.
But get the book. And we're going to share more. Stay with us on Morning Barbados on this Friday.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue, all new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
You know, he was saying, Thornhill, we can salute the stadium, you know. It's not early you making sport. You can be half in here. Only then to turn up the Saturday morning at the stadium to do the broadcast. The funny stadium, as we were saying now in the local parlance, burst. Overflowing to the point where then you had to get extra seating on the velodrome, the cycle track.
Golden Glory, celebrating our senior games, Tuesday at 8:03 p.m. on air and online.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you indeed, and welcome back. It's 6:46, so just about 14 minutes to go before 7 o'clock. We have been celebrating with the winners of the Guynon People's Choice Awards 2024. And what makes this exceptional is the people who are deciding who the winners are. And I absolutely love that. So we're celebrating another winner today in Neil Waith, who is Actor of the Year. Q chair here.
Yay!
Yay!
People's Choice Actor of the Year. So it's subjective, is personal opinion, so I take it. I don't mind too much. People's Choice Actor of the Year, big up going on awards. Some people call it a sponsor walk. Some people call it a People's Choice, charity popularity contest, but it's something I think that validates work. It gives some credibility to artists, and I think it's a way to help us know who is who. I was away for many years, and when I came back, the first thing I did was spend a day with my manager going through all the nominees to just see who is who in Barbados, who is doing what. So I think it's a very important initiative, so I'm very grateful to have been awarded the Actor of the Year.
All right, so tell me a little bit about your background.
My background, you want to start from 1950s,
Go
60s,
right
70s?
from the 50s and come forward.
Let's start from the 90s. As many performers did, I started in church. Did play Jesus a million times.
You played Jesus?
A million times.
Not in this hat, though.
Not in this hat, but I did fall off a cross, and it was finished, and I did not move, and people applauded because in my head it was dead. And I used to really believe it when I was young, like really believe it, and beat myself with mud and I used to try to act dead a lot. I thought that was the ultimate, like, acting chops, But it's also like crying for a lot of people when you're young. If you could shed tears, you're doing real acting. So I tried that a lot, and then you go through pageant days, you go through NIFCA days, and then NCS gives you opportunities, and then you start doing the training. I train at UE here in Barbados, train in Jamaica. You start traveling, and I'm at the point now where I'm producing, directing, writing, and performing, and mentoring. So it's that kind of give back to the youth, so to speak. So I guess I'm not so young again.
But I mean, it certainly kind of reinforces why you've been nominated in the first place, because you talked about how different people perceive the Guynon Awards and whether people deserve it because of the body of people who select the people that they want. And as an actor, don't you agree that the people whom you serve are the most important people
Definitely.
in determining whether you're good at what you do?
Definitely. Particularly because I was up against some amazing talents, Brandon Blackman, Dai Brown, Jabari Brown, tremendous talents, Jen Bean, who's an internet sensation. I didn't even know about her. And all these people got like 35,000 followers, 15,000, 13,000. I got my measly 1995, and I built up to 2,500. And it was very interesting for me to see something as an online voting medium. I get more votes than these people. So for me, it really kind of validates the 14 shows I produced last year and the tons of work I did, 50th anniversary for the NCF. I was part of the Emile Straker opening at Ilara Court. So a lot of things you might not see because I'm in character. So it's not necessarily me, but I'm always in and around Barbados doing things.
Absolutely. I mean, when we note some of the things that you've done through the years, 6 silvers and 4 bronze awards at NIFCA, that's nothing to sneeze at. You had an opportunity to play Kamau Brathwaite in the 2023 gala event.
Yeah.
Barbadian production. You wrote, produced, directed, acting in his one-person play, Man-Child.
Yes.
And I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You facilitated numerous productions. You have quite a few film and photography credits to your name as well. Barbados' first ever television sitcom, Keeping Up with the Joneses, and feature film, A Caribbean Dream, which won Best Feature at the 27 London Film Festival, lead actor in regional Scotiabank commercial, etc., etc. And usually when we hear people talking about wanting to go into acting, because we don't have an active film and production industry in this country, in other parts of the region maybe, but in Barbados we're moving that way, then you know there's much work to be done. But with these credits to your name, you know, I dare say they made a good choice.
Thank you so much. And what you're saying is really important for me. I have a piece where it said, when I grew up, I wanted to be an actor. And you say 99% literacy, #1 developed country, and you're telling me that 166 square miles is not a limitation in equation. And a lot of actors are on the island with far greater credits than myself, the late Sonia Williams. I think of Peter Allen of CBC, like Tony Thompson, and we may not know them because acting, particularly live theater acting, is sandcastles we're building. And not often do we see sandcastles. If you're not there for it, it's gone. So it's that kind of magical, temporal, spatial reality. And oftentimes with film, we are consuming so much film from the north, from the east, from the west, from everywhere, that we may not even see our own acting. Of course, you know, like Poor Game Murder. I love what they did back in the day with their Poor Game Murder, and their badness came about. And sometimes things break into popular mass mainstream, but generally people are building on the craft, they're getting skills, they're going overseas, they're trained, they're experienced, and then there's a question of then what? Oftentimes they become teachers or administrators. For me, when I came back 3 years ago, it was important to look around and realize still no industry is developed, and how can I do that? How can I get, you know, sponsorship for my hair, Nubian Naturals? How can I get sponsorship for clothes, Raj Paul? How can I talk to CBC and Jaquila? How can I look at my network and try to encapsulate this thing and really put pen to paper and put dollars and cents to it and really put a figure to it? That's what I'm trying to do in my master's program. Trying to see how can this thing become a reality on paper so that sponsors can also see that it could be lucrative, it has potential, and an actor really is a diverse culture promoter. And if culture is such a strong, important thing to our orange economy, then the actor can be the voice of that.
What clicked with you? What made the difference? Because there's so many of us who are dreamers and just that. There are very few dreamers who take that next step. And even when they don't get the support they need, they go beyond.
Yeah.
And you're one of those people who has gone beyond to pursue your dreams in a way that has paid back twofold or even more.
Yeah.
So what do you think was the difference in you and your approach?
I love the question. This was a research question I had too. I was in Jamaica and asking artists why. I mean, I came in contact with Elephant Man, worked with a lot of people, and I asked them, why you continue? Why continue doing it? And one of the things I do realize in myself and others is support system. The support system of my family is very important. There are times when you're not sure if you're being supported, but sorry to say, but if you're not being kicked out, if you're not being verbally abused and pushed down, you're being supported, because it's not easy for a parent to support something that they can't really see. And that's really where I'm at, trying to show it to parents, show it to children who are 12 years old that come to me. I work in the prisons as well a lot. Show it to people that everybody's a dormant artist. Between 0 and 7, everybody wants to sing, dance, act, play, pretend, draw, make something. So the difference really with me is it's a bit of a psychosis. I sometimes think about it like there is some kind of delusion of grandeur that you think you can, but it has brought a lot of validation to me. It's something that I believe I'm really good at, and at this point it's something that it's kind of my mission, is a sacrifice. I sacrifice, playing sports, sacrifice relationships, sacrifice a lot of things to work on craft. And I really think it is my duty. I mean, I was inspired by those names I called, the Tony Thompson, the Winston Farrells, even the Adrian Green. So for me, now I'm 33, I'm at that place that I'm now seeing a lot of my students doing well. So it's very interesting. Yeah. Students I taught when they were 12, and they're looking to me, a lot of people are looking to me of how we can do it. So I believe it's possible. I think there was a time when there was no cell phone, and if somebody didn't believe that the cell phone was possible, it wouldn't be. And I just think it's a thing to dream. I think Barbados is very young. 57 years is young for an island when it comes to identity and a country. And I think we are the first. I always tell our artists, so I do a lot of photography, entertainment photography. I'm always talking to DJs, promoters, producers, to just instill in them that we're the first. Even Tisha, in her, not going to say how long, but her quarter of a century at CBC. you are the first. No, you're a revolutionary.
Listen, he say he's not. I can't trust you. From
no, nobody don't know what's a quarter of a century.
Nobody knows.
No, everybody don't know that. That's fractions. But yeah, what you've done and the light you've brought and the people the light you've shone on people, even watching these interviews, is really important. We take it for granted, this beautiful set, and we quarrel about it. People quarrel about the government and we quarrel about these things, but we have to really realize what we got. And then what can we do to move forward? So that's my thing. Seeing what I have, what can I do to move forward?
Yeah, but you've said a great deal, and you've left us with lots to think about, especially for people who, it might be early in life, it might be later in life, and you're thinking about pursuing your dreams. What stays with me, though, is you said it brings you an incredible amount of satisfaction.
Yes.
What's the measure of a man's success? We can look on and we can weigh in and we can say what we think. A lot of money, making big dollars, driving a fancy car, living in a big house, that doesn't guarantee satisfaction. So you said it brings you satisfaction. It's pleasing to you.
Yes.
And that is what is important. And that's why you are the winner of the Guynon People's Choice Awards for Best Actor for 2024. Well deserved. And again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I hope to see you acting soon. I'm always trying to get everybody.
Girl, I'm acting every day, man.
I know, but I want to see you with a new costume that you don't normally wear, a voice maybe that you don't normally have. I think is in you. It's just the opportunity. And I do shows like that I encourage the entire audience to jump in. I call it just jump in and let's play. Just remember to play, because we get old and stiff and adult and forget that we can play too. We can play and laugh and sing and dance.
Who wants to be old, stiff, and adult?
Good thing you're not there yet.
Yeah,
thankfully you're not there
never
yet.
will be. And it's a youthful spirit that comes with some of us.
Yes.
Other people do become a little stiff and rugged and rigid in their older years. But I think that's sometimes living life.
Yeah.
Depending on what's happening. I want to thank you for coming through. It's been wonderful talking to you. I look forward to having even more in-depth conversations about your path and where you're headed.
Thank you so much. I look forward to you as well, and your path to the stage.
All right, good Sahid. Listen, recruitment. All right, time for another break here on Morning Barbados. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Do you look like your dad? Do people often say, use the spitting image of your father? That likeness could make your dad a winner in our CBC Mini-Me Father's Day contest. From June 1st to 6th, submit a photo of your dad and his lookalike son or daughter to marketing@cbc.bb or via WhatsApp to 467-5465. Then rally your family and friends to vote on CBC Barbados on Facebook and CBC Barbados 246 on Instagram from June 8th to 10th. The photo with the most votes wins a staycation at the luxurious Sunday Hotel. Gift vouchers compliments world-class cuts, and a photo shoot compliments 8216 Logistics. What are you waiting for? Get those photos with Dad in now.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308 and don't miss a single six, wicket or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Calling all Soccerholics! The highly anticipated soccer pop-up party of the season is back! Follow us to a different location every Friday night from 8 p.m. from May 10th to June 14th for the Barbados Lottery.
Good morning to you.
All right, so the time is quickly going by. It's already 2 minutes after 7 o'clock. Wonderful to have you in company. We're going to link up with someone at this point in time. He has lots going on, and we're going to try to hone in on a little bit of what he's been doing. But he's professional, inspirational keynote speaker, and author and entrepreneur as well. And he's woken up early to share with us on Morning Barbados. Hey, good morning to you, Kristen Graves.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
It's wonderful to connect with you in this way and have you on Morning Barbados. Talk to me a little bit about your professional background, your foray into inspirational keynote speaking. How did that come about?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Well, the journey actually commenced back in 2020. This was actually when the world was having the whole COVID pandemic. And and I've noticed that during that time, a lot of persons, especially those who were close to my family, they were experiencing a lot of loss. And it seemed like a lot of persons were facing like challenges and difficulties. And pretty much for me, I remember one evening, after a long day, I was doing a Bible study session with my mom, and it literally felt like the Holy Spirit was speaking to me, and there was this constant thought that was coming to my mind constantly, and it said, "Look, Kristen, if you don't use your abilities now of speaking and being able to inspire others, basically you will lose it forever." Now, bear in mind, at that time, I never had the idea of speaking or doing any of the stuff that I'm doing now, and basically because of noticing the challenges and that persons were facing, and noticing that a lot of persons were basically like hopeless, or I basically stood up to the plate and it led to me first starting the ministry where I would share inspirational videos every Monday morning, and I did that for 2 years straight. And then that led to me writing my book. And then, as I continued to get feedback from persons saying how much they were enjoying the messages that I was sharing, it basically eventually led me to now being able to speak in front of live audiences. And I'm grateful I get to do this professionally now.
That's
So
that's
that's basically his story.
That's commendable. Quite a story. Talk to me about the journey to writing that very first book. I know that you talked about starting with Bible study and moving through online and then getting to that place. But what was it like to put all of these ideas and ideals down on paper to be able to share?
Well, to be honest, it was not an easy task to. The truth is, persons don't actually realize how much goes into writing a book. And for me, the journey, because at the time I was still in school, so I was actually now finishing up sixth form, so trying to navigate between CAPE examinations as well as writing this book, it was definitely difficult, but it was well worth it. I can say now looking back. So it definitely took a lot off of me in terms of conceptualizing the ideas, but for me it took both personal development as well as praying, and that's what helped me to keep persevering and having the bigger picture in mind that hey, there are people out there who needs to hear what I have to say. So it though I would get tired from moment to moment, I kept pushing through, and yes, we are here today.
And it certainly has been a journey for you because you're getting ready to release a second book. So you
Yes.
really continued on that path. Talk to us now about this new book that you're preparing to share with the world.
All right. Well, I don't want to give too much details into it, but the next upcoming book is entitled Transform Your Life. It's time to walk in your purpose. And pretty much the book is all about helping or coaching persons like through the process that of how they can start living a life regardless of where they're at, regardless of their circumstances. It's about helping them to see, look, the bigger picture that you were made for a purpose, you were made for something greater, and it's basically teaching persons how you can start living that life that they have always envisioned or dreamed of. So yeah.
Now you're pretty young, so
Yes, definitely.
who's your target demographic, or do you have even a target demographic when you think of the people whom you're trying to inspire through your words and your actions, your books, and what you do on an everyday basis?
So yeah, so I do have a target demographic, and my target demographic is youths and young professionals. Those are the individuals I mostly cater to, and I have noticed over the years that my messages most resonate with. So yes.
Why have you decided to target people in this particular age range?
Well, I have noticed that a lot of young persons these days seem to be facing a lot of different challenges in their developmental journey. And pretty much for me, I just want to be the person that basically I do not have the person that looks back and helps the next generation, the person that is willing to be vulnerable, for lack of better words, and to help them to see, look, despite what you're going through, it doesn't get to determine how far you can go. And I have this quote which I firmly live by is that your circumstances don't determine your destiny. So pretty much for me, I just want to be like that example, or I don't know if they say the word role model, but the example to those who are to come or those who are now following on after us. So yeah.
You obviously lived a strict Christian life. You talked about Bible study with your mom and sharing with others, coming to the realization that much of what you were doing was inspired in your own words. What was it like as a young man in the secondary school system being, so religious, so spiritual in what you were doing?
Well, if as I reflect now, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't always on that straight or that narrow path. As I always tell persons in my speeches whenever I am presenting, look, I did make some mistakes and I was not always this, for lack of better words, this focused. And pretty much it really developed as I continued to mature, and as I got older, it really started to I started to get more bold and more passionate about it. So to be honest with you, I was not always this way back in secondary school or even primary school growing up. So it was definitely a journey.
Is there any one thing, or are there a combination of things that then got you to this place? Because you keep talking about growing up and maturity and when I got this age, but you're still very, very young. So, what do you think has made the difference in your thinking and your drive?
I would say looking on at the example of my mom, that's one of the first things I would say. She has always been there for me and has always helped to instill good moral values within me. And then I would also say it's through the grace of God that has helped me, and that is what has really transformed me, if I'm going to be honest. And then also, I would say, looking on at the example of some of persons I would consider mentors now, they have helped to influence my thinking. They have helped to influence the way that I do things now. So, looking on at the examples of others, I would say would be one of the main things.
That's beautiful. Outside of that, you're still just a regular average young man. You say you like a glass of lemonade and a nice big Bajan fish cake, obviously more than one.
Yes.
So what do you do for fun? What are your go-to things? What do you like to do?
So my hobbies, well, some of my hobbies are playing music is one of them. I really enjoy doing that. That is one way of me expressing myself. I also enjoy going for walks, and I'm the type of person that I like to challenge myself, especially physically. So I enjoy exercise and walking. That's another thing. Surprisingly, writing as well. And the reason I say surprisingly is because growing up, I never really saw myself as an author. I never really enjoyed the process of reading, but as I continue to grow personally, as I continue to read, I actually found that I enjoy writing as a means of expressing myself. So yeah.
You said that you like these long early morning walks with mom. Again, that points us in the direction that you guys have a really close relationship. What part has that played in shaping the man who's sitting in front of us this morning?
Ooh, it's played a lot. I'm going to be honest. It wasn't always easy. It wasn't always this way. Now, you see, a lot of persons may look on now and see the stage or the season where we're at, where person would say that yes, me and my mom are very close, but it wasn't always that way throughout the years because of the different challenges I was going through when I was younger, growing up. Some of those challenges impacted me and how I related to my mom. So but because she has always stuck through all of the challenges, the challenging seasons, it really helped me to appreciate her even more. And as we continue to spend time building our family relationship, it has played a major role into molding me into the man I am today.
That's absolutely beautiful. Where are you hoping to take all of this, or where are you hoping it takes you? Motivational and public speaking, being inspirational, inspiring others through your words and through your works and your books and online. Where are you hoping this journey lands you?
Well, I do hope that I can go further afield or overseas internationally, especially with my speaking and with my writing. I do intend to continue working on my craft, and I know we hear of all when we think of motivational speakers, we think of the Les Browns, we think of the Tony Robbins, the popular persons, and I am hoping that one day I can get further feeling like impact more lives, because for me, at the end of the day, the heart of it is about serving others. And I believe that the only way that a person can truly walk in their purpose and live a fulfilled life is if they are willing to use their gifts and their abilities in service to others.
All right.
So that's something that I intend on doing.
So that is beautiful. Congratulations on your nomination for Motivational Speaker of the Year in the Gainon Awards. Congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
in and of itself is an amazing feat. And we salute you this morning for that.
Thank you so much.
All right, so look out for him. Look out for this name. Remember it, Kristen Graves. And, you know, if you're looking for a keynote speaker, a little bit of inspirational with a youthful demeanor background, this is your go-to guy. On that note, congratulations to the person who won the category, Alison Brown Ellis, who is, you know, a former schoolmate and so on. And she's been doing amazing work in the area of motivational speaking as well. All right, time for another break here on Morning Barbados. But when we come back, we have lots more. So stick around.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Calling all Soccerholics! The highly anticipated soccer pop-up party of the season is back! Follow us to a different location every Friday night from 8 p.m. from May 10th to June 14th for the Barbados Lottery White Oak Rum 98.1 The One Soccer Stock Pop-Up Party. We bring you the music and giveaways and you bring the vibes and the action.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue, all new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
You know, he was saying, Thornhill, we can sell out the stadium, you know. That's my area you making sport. You can be half in here. Only then to turn up the Saturday morning at the stadium to do the broadcast. The funny stadium, as we were saying on the local parlance, burst. Overflowing to the point where then you had to get extra seating on the velodrome, the cycle track.
Golden Glory, celebrating our senior games, Tuesday at 8:03 p.m. on air and online.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Do you look like
It's 7:20, that kind of time already, but it's Friday, so, you know, we're happy. Usually people are a little more jovial on this day because you get to think about all the relaxing you'll be doing tomorrow. Or maybe you're going to cricket like the rest of Barbados. I hope to see you at cricket. Make sure you get out enjoy the Oval and the games and all of that wonderful stuff. Now, we want to make sure that you are here for the party. It is a new initiative being put on by Banks Barbados Breweries. And we have to welcome Janelle Germain, who's growth manager for Banks Barbados Breweries. She's in studio this morning. I was looking around. I didn't see any ice cold Banks in tow or anything, but it's wonderful to have you here to talk about this brand new initiative. Welcome.
Good morning to you, and good morning, Barbados. It's an absolute pleasure to be here this morning to talk about our very exciting campaign, Hair for the Party. So how do we conceptualize Hair for the Party? So the aim was to focus on bringing cricket, which is a big season in Barbados right now, and crop over, which is aligned to, the festivities and the celebration, and, encompass Banks in that era, or these key celebratory moments. So when you think of cricket and crop over, you think of the festivities, the fun, the excitement, the national pride and the culture. And what better brand to align with these key moments than the Bay of Barbados? Banks Bear. So we figured, let's put on this very exciting campaign, which will encompass a number of key initiatives, key activities, community-led initiatives, just to, when you think of cricket and you think of crop over, it can only be Banks Bear.
Absolutely. I was taking a peek at the party stand just the other day, and I was thinking, but you are bringing that party to Q, where you're going to do the official launch this coming Thursday.
Yes. Well, we're going to go, since you're mentioning T, we're going to go straight into Q. So next Thursday, we're going to have the official Banks Q in the community. And this is something that one of our team members would have conceptualized. It is really around, we have Q. Q is a staple in Barbados, but how can we bring some even more excitement as a leading sponsor? So we have this Banks Q in the community, which will encompass a number of things for people that's been veterans of Q to the newcomers. We'll have a karaoke session where you're going to get a chance to win a large prize for just being the best karaoke singer. We know everybody loves their line dances, so we're going to have a line dancing competition as well. We're going to have our Banks Bear on special for 6 for 20. So 6 bears for only $20. So bring your crew down and let's drink up some Banks Bear. And that's where it gets more exciting. So going down into the evening, we have loads of very amazing performances. My favorite, hope I'm not being biased, is Biggie Irie. So Biggie Irie is going to be there performing for us. We also have Edwin Yearwood. We have Father Fox. We have Mikey, Lead Pipe and Saddis, Mole, Cooper Dan, Grateful Co, which
say everybody
you can think of. So it's going to be a vibe. So CBC has been a partner of Banks for a number of years, and we figure if you're going to do this, let's do this and let's make this big. So it's going to be one of the, we want to say it's going to be one of the bigger cues that you've seen for 2024. But it's going to be led by, the Bay of Barbados, Banks Bear, and synonymous with our campaign, Hair for the Party. So we're all about bringing the party and bringing the culture and the celebration of what cricket and crop over means to Barbados.
Absolutely. And I love what you've called the campaign because you can interpret it in so many different ways.
In so many different ways. So when you think of the party, it's not just about, going to an actual fete. A party could be at your home drinking your Banks Bear, watching cricket. A party could be you and your friends liming. A party could be, whatever you want to make it. But the element of having the Bay of Barbados incorporated into that party, it feels like, it's pride. I am Barbadian, yeah? And when I think of Barbados and I think of the culture, two things come to mind. Pudding and sauce, because there's no other sauce like that in the entire world. And I think of my ice cold Banks Bear. So it's just about bringing that to Barbadians, bringing that to the audiences. And we're really, it's a lot happening in the background, but we're about painting the town red. And really, when you in Barbados, even the tourists coming in, you feel that sense of pride and that sense of culture and authenticity through Banks Bear.
Absolutely. And when I think of the name of the campaign, we can liken it to life because a lot of the times we talk about staying for the hard stuff, but when you stick around for the party, it means you've gone through whatever, but you're here now to celebrate.
You're here, and I love how you coined that T because, it's actually exactly what it is. Life is about enjoyment and about fun and about living living to your fullest. So whatever it is, now is the time to celebrate. We're here for the party. For me, the only time I get to really have fun is during Crop Over, and that is my party moment. So that's my celebration moment.
All right, now as part of the Banks Here for the Party campaign, you're going to have this big launch at Q. I heard you talking about a big prize, and I know my Q people are thinking, they're thinking, what are we looking at here? Am I going to be able to convince you to give us a little clue about some of the other things that we might get, or do we have to come out to see?
I will give the Q viewers and the Q attendees something, and also the ones that want to come to Q. So there's a karaoke prize, right? Let's just say it has 3 zeros behind it.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it is exciting, yeah. So if you come to Q, you know you have your voice, I am a singer, but I could try. If you have your karaoke voice on, come on down and just enjoy it. So you come for the fun, but you can also get to win. And if you wear red, for simply wearing red and representing Banks Bear, you can also win prizes as well, too. I only recently learned about line dancing, and I'm not trying to get my line dancing going on, because there are also going to be prizes for just simply doing what you do and doing what you love. And you know where we got this inspiration. You guys normally do the reruns of Q. And when one day we were watching it in the office, and when we saw the excitement and the fun, we were like, guys, why aren't we doing Q in a bigger way?
Why can't we line dance?
Why can't we line dance? Why can't we have some fun at Q? So you know what, we figure, let's bring Banks Here for the Party to Q and give the older generation, the veterans, the people that love Banks, and even the millennials, the experience of Q, what we know Q to be. Q is like when you think of Barbados, you think of Q in the community. And it's synonymous, we align Banks Bear to that.
We're so happy to be a part of this, and Q is authentically through and through a CBC brand. It's always wonderful to be able to partner with authentically Bajan brands, which CBC is as well. We're celebrating 60 this year, and to be able to be a part of so many wonderful initiatives, you know, it really hammers home why we're here and why we need to stay here. So, you know, I heard you say, come for the fun. You missed out the stay for the party part after that. But it's coming off at the Wildy Gymnasium at the Sir Garfield Sobers, well, not Sir Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. And there are going to be lots of plans. I love that you're doing bank specials as well. I know the Q family love that.
The Q family is going to love that. And when you buy your Banks Bear at 6 for $20, you also get to win prizes as well too. So you see Q next week. If you have not gone to Q in years, you need to come down to this Q happening next weekend, because it is just, it's so much happening as it relates to our Here for the Party campaign, but it doesn't feel complete unless we incorporate, you know, CBC as our partner, unless we incorporate, you know, our persons we're targeting, the older persons and also the younger as well.
All right.
So there's so much happening.
That's beautiful stuff. I'm going to invite my entire crew to come on down. We usually drop by crew. Yeah, I heard some cheering for that. And it's not motivated at all by the 6 for $20 special. It's because I love you guys. Absolutely. 6 for $20. I'm here for the party.
Hey,
how about
I love that.
So come on down to Q. Yes. Of course, we always encourage you to come out to QFM. We're going to be live on air from 11 o'clock in the morning. You can look out for the Q family as well. Jaquila will be there. Kimberly is usually in studio. And the entire CBC family, we usually pass through as well, because it truly is a sign of what we love about Barbados.
Indeed. And I just want to add before we go that not only will we be doing the Q, we have a lot of shop promotions happening throughout the island, and just, you know, bring that community feel to cricket and crop over throughout the period. We encourage you to follow us at Banks Bear on Instagram or Facebook, because there's going to be loads of exciting activities happening, and just to bring back like that rich, not bring back, enhance that rich culture, that rich heritage of cricket and crop over in Barbados.
All right, so I have a little bit of trivia for you. When I started the show earlier this morning, I want to see, she says she's Bajan. She loves Q. Oh, Lord. She loves putting a sauce. All that wonderful stuff. Put your money where your mouth is. Check this. So I said a little bit earlier this morning that we're going to have a big performance from a very interesting artist. Let me see how good you were listening and how much you know. So we were talking about this artist who is going to be performing a little bit later here on Morning Barbados. I'm here looking for the name. I can't find it. I must be Listen, you see, this is when you're trying to set up other people. So, do you know who the artist is who will be performing? His name is Michael Bowen.
Do I know the artist?
Yeah. Do you know the stage name?
Michael Bowen.
Michael Bowen. Mac, laugh.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to stay for the party because you did not know. You're gonna have to stay for the party
artist?
because you did not know the answer.
I feel like I know, but I'm not sure, and I don't want to say the wrong answer.
And because you admitted you can't line dance, I'm gonna teach you to line dance while he's performing too. Yeah, we're gonna capture that because she's gonna stay for the party, and we expect you to come out on Thursday for that cue for the launch of the Stay for the Party campaign from Banks, definitely the Beer of Barbados. No matter what new brand, new initiatives the brand goes through, we always think of Banks as the Beer of Barbados, right? So get on out and be a part of that celebration next Thursday at Q, and the answer is Stabby.
Stabby. Oh, but I know Stabby.
Laugh. You see, you get it now?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I never knew he was Michael Bowen. Like Stabby, Michael Bowen. But yeah, that is true. Yeah,
like the name does not measure up at all. But, you know, it's really wonderful to see Banks stepping out in the community like this. And often we see people, you know, sipping brands and so on. So for you to be able to jump in and be a part of the party in this way, you too are staying for the party. You're not only giving us the beer, and we have the wrap-up growl.
I love that. But it was an absolute pleasure being here, and thank you for having us. And we encourage all those Q goers and upcomings, visit Q next week Thursday. Is Thursday 13th at the Sir Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. It's going to be loads of excitement happening, performances, giveaways, and don't forget that big prize with the 3 zeros. Yeah?
Good
see
stuff.
You there.
Oh, we got everything. So see you at Q next Thursday. You're not allowed to wrap up on camera, Peter. Well, do the girl. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Bye.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Do you look like your dad? Do people often say, use the spitting image of your father? That likeness could make your dad a winner in our CBC Mini-Me Father's Day contest. From June 1st to 6th, submit a photo of your dad and his lookalike son or daughter to marketing@cbc.bb or via WhatsApp to 467-5465. Then rally your family and friends to vote on CBC Barbados on Facebook and CBC Barbados 246 on Instagram from June 8th to 10th. The photo with the most votes wins a staycation at the luxurious Sun Bay Hotel. Gift vouchers compliments World Class Cuts, and a photo shoot compliments 8216 Logistics. What are you waiting for? Get those photos with Dad in now.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308, and don't miss a single six, wicket, or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game with Domino's and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Calling all Soccerholics! The highly anticipated soccer pop-up party of the season is back! Follow us to a different location every Friday night from 8 p.m. from May 10th to June 14th for the Barbados Lottery White Oak Rum 98.1 The One Soccer Stock Pop-Up Party. We bring you the music and giveaways, and you bring the vibes and the action.
Now, before 8 o'clock, you know, we have to get in with the fun of what's happening for Crop Over. And the Junior Monarch competition is one of those competitions we really look forward to. We're seeing the fruits of our labor with a lot of the Junior Monarchs coming through to the major competitions as well. So we're featuring Carrie this time around. She used to compete before as just Carrie, but she is Carrie Ann Holford Sam, and she's here with her mom for some support as well. So good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
And welcome. So tell me about competing in the Junior Monarch from age 10. What initially made you want to be a part of it?
Well, ever since I was very young, I used to hear, you know, all these stars singing, and, you know, I would just be laying down in bed like, what do I want to do in my life? And I really found a passion with singing, and my mom introduced me to the Junior Monarch. So I was like, I could just, you know, showcase my talent there, and it went from there.
At what stage did you recognize, hey, she has an interest in music and this would be a good outlet for her?
Oh, it was a very sudden thing, actually. She used to sing in her bedroom at night, you know, put the pillow on her head and do a little thing. I didn't know she could sing. And she went to Blackman and Gollop Primary School, and she came to me and she said, Mom, I want to do a song. I want to sing in this competition. So I looked at her.
That was the school competition?
Yes, that was the school's competition. And I was like, okay, sing, but I've never heard you sing. So I decided to write a little song, just making sport. That was the first song, Where Are the Good Girls Gone? That was her first song. And she sang that like a boss, a little tiny girl on stage. And she, that year they did not have the competition, but then she entered Junior Monarch. And in her first year, she went straight to the finals. So that was a journey within itself. I'm very proud of her.
What's the experience been like for you, being a part of the Junior Monarch cast?
It's been a very good journey so far. Like, you know, just excited to go and perform generally all the time, just doing what I love to do, you know.
And then COVID struck, you competed. Yes. Then there was COVID, you took a break last year. So what has brought you back in 2024?
Well, I kind of missed being out on the stage, you know. Just craving, you know, performing again.
To get back out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is she singing a lot at home still, Mom? To the point where you're like, you definitely have to get back on stage.
Actually, no. She doesn't sing a lot at home. She listens to a lot of music. She's a very good musician, and you know, Mr. Laurie World would have fostered that for her. In 2022, she came back home. She went to the finals, but obviously she got COVID, so she wasn't able to compete then. She asked me if she can compete in 2023, but she wasn't settled with the genre of calypso. She wanted something more fast-paced. And so things didn't work out. So then this year she begged me, hey, Mommy, let's do this thing. But her real passion is steel pan. And that itself was that opportunity propelled her into singing the song that she's going to be singing this year.
All right, so Carrie, tell me about the song.
I wrote it with my mom. It was inspired by, you know, the Pan on the Hill event at Foundation in April. It was a big steel pan event, and we wanted to just write something embodying the excitement that people would feel when they listen to the steel pan, and how I would feel, you know, playing steel pan. So we decided to write it and just come to Junior Monarch with the song, and this is where we are now.
That's beautiful. What's it like writing with Mom? Pretend she's not there. Tell me the honest truth.
I love writing with her.
Oh,
She's
that's
so
beautiful.
creative, and you know, it makes me feel comfortable to share my ideas and everything. So it's a really good opportunity to
Connect.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Now, you mentioned that when she initially told you that she was interested in singing, you wrote a song. Yes. Does this mean that you used to write before?
No, please.
Or did you just go into mommy mode and say, okay, my daughter wants to sing, I have to write a song?
I've always been a creative person. I'm a teacher by career, so you have to be creative. I'm very playful, and it was an opportunity again to connect with her. And I don't know, it just happened. Honestly, it just happened. It was a song that was written in 5 minutes. And I found throughout the years, I would have written for her majority of the time. I found throughout the years I've written songs that will help her grow as an individual. So that is, or something that's going on in her life. So it would have been Where the Good Girls Gone in 2018, 2019, Can't Give Up Right Now. So those are the things that would have inspired me to write for her. And then I would have worked with other juniors at point of time, yes.
Beautiful. We look forward to seeing you on stage. Carrie. She was just Carrie before, and now she's just Carrie. That was good, right?
Perfect.
Yeah, I fancy myself funny, but my crew, they don't think I'm funny at all. Usually they play like crickets and stuff like that when I try to make jokes. I want to do a joke of the day, and they said that it was a joke and it would run the viewers. So, you know, I'm happy that you appreciate my joke telling, Carrie. And I'll be there at the Junior Monarch competition this year. I hope to see you at the finals.
Yes, please.
Yeah?
Yes.
Mom, I can see that you're incredibly proud.
Yes,
What's
I
the name
am.
of the song?
Sweet Pan.
Sweet Pan.
Yes, please.
I love that. Have a great day today at school. Is winding down. Big plans for the summer, right?
Yes, please.
Good stuff. All right, and thanks for coming in, Mom.
All right, thank you so much for having us here.
All right, good stuff. Look out for Carrie as a part of the cast for the Junior Monarch contingent for 2024. We're going to get to hear her performing Sweet Pan as well, so don't you move.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue, all new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
You know, he was saying, Thornhill, we can sell out the stadium, you know. That's my area you making sport. You can be half in here. Only then to turn up the Saturday morning at the stadium to do the ball.
Sweet Pan. There's a hush in the air when we get on the stage, 'cause sweet music you're hearing. Plenty revelers coming down. People planting up the ground. Sweet pan, we playing. Cause there's nothing sweeter than the melodies. One Caribbean, we celebrating in harmony. United over pan, flags up in we hand. We jump in with the steel band, sweet pan. People moving to the rhythm, jumping up with the iron, winding up to percussion, steel pan, sweet pan. Good vibes you know you're gonna get. Never miss one pan show yet. We tired, dripping with sweat, but we ain't caught out yet. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. We hearing it, we hearing it. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. We hearing it, we hearing it. Born in TNT, delightful symphony. We playing it, we playing it, we playing it. Funny music's coming round. St. Lucie to Bridgetown. The pan, we craving it, we craving it. Cause there's nothing sweeter than the melodies. For the love of pan, we celebrating in harmony. United over pan, rights up in we hand. We jump in with the steel band, sweet pan. People waving to the rhythm, brighten up with the iron, jamming up to percussion, steel pan, sweet pan. Nice but you know you're gonna get. Never miss one pan show yet. We tired, dripping with sweat, but we ain't caught out yet. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. We hearing it, we hearing it. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. Ping, ping, pong, ping, pong. We hearing it, we hearing it. Why? Ow! Carrie!
You know, he was saying, Thornhill, we can sell out the stadium, you know. That's my area you making sport. You can be half in here. Only then to turn up the Saturday morning at the stadium to do the broadcast. The funny stadium, as we were saying on the local parlance, burst. Overflowing to the point where then you had to get extra seating on the velodrome, the cycle track.
Golden Glory, celebrating our senior games, Tuesday at 8:03 p.m. on air and online.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Do you look like your dad? Do people often say, use these
All right, so I've been telling you that Michael Bowen is going to be on, and I know it sounded like it was going to be some corporate guy coming in with a suit and tie. No, it's Stabby. Stabby. It's good to see you, man.
Yes.
Always good. I saw you last week upstairs.
Yes.
You were here for the radio station, so we kind of go through. It's been quite some time since you've been in music. Can you imagine how long it has been? Remind us about how long you've been performing.
I've been performing. 2008 was my first year singing, but this is 20 years to me in the industry. Obviously, you know, from Spain Puching, from that time to now. So this is my 20th year.
Yeah, back then you weren't supposed to say pooch on air. So when you guys came up with a group called Spin Pooch, we were figuring out, okay, how are we going to introduce them? Can we even say anything? And then from dancing, then you were singing and so on as well. But what piqued your interest initially?
I actually always wanted to do it, but you always have nerves doing something new, starting over. But I've always been into acting. I had the character there. I used to do security work years ago, and everybody used to be like, "You should be a security guard for bumpers." And that's how that'd be funny. That'd be funny. And then from there, that's how my interest went to another level. You know, when people hype you up, as they say.
Yeah, and I know
then,
that you have some amazing dance moves as well. You know, so how did you kind of hone all of that? Could you always dance, or is it something you worked at?
No, how to say yes. I worked at it. I would think the only battle that I win with my mom, you know, cutting your backside, is 7 years old, seeing Lil Rick, your heroes on the truck. And you ain't supposed to be in the parade. Just go on the front and watch the bands. All right, Mom, go on the front. And then you see that the band gone and you see Lil Rick on top of the truck winning, doing his thing now. And you just walking. 1 minute, I see myself cut rock. I feel myself down past District A. Then I down Bank Hall. Wait, Miss Boy, no, you don't hear? Like, you shake it over there, then you're rushing back home. But you think you get home, some boy done rat on you. Like, what you was doing down there? I tell you want to go up on the front. Yeah. Then every year, then my mom was like, all right, before you go, you go down and get back home by 6.
Yeah, so you were always really into the festival.
And as soon as I saw, and at that time, Life Band, Edwin, and them going on the road and stuff like that, and you're seeing it, and then they start going in front of the mirror and trying it. And sometimes you say, yeah, I think that's it. You know, you get excited and then you go for the road now and you try to do it and then the people hype you up. You know, as things say, everywhere you go, they go to a circle there like that. Every time we start thinking, people like, yeah, and hyping you up. They say, what? I like it onto something. And then, you know, as it piqued my interest, then you start to look at it and then you try other things to contort your body because I used to do like break dancing and all that of that time. And then you start to infuse that with my dancing and then it evolved from there and then grew and grew and grew.
All right, that's beautiful. And then you came into this character of Stabby and you kind of write along those lines. This year in 2024, you have quite a few songs.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
More than I wanted to, but how God working is vibes. Just release music. Good music don't die. But I do have 4 singles that I'm concentrating on. I have a Power coming out and my main bashment. But I already released one called Booty Talk, and No Joking today is the one that I will perform for you. But I do have some other songs out too as well on other rhythms that will be coming out. Some released and some on release.
What would you say has been the highlight of your time in the Crop Over Festival?
First, seeing, I had a vision of the character, the performance and everything before I did it. And seeing that vision in reality, I realized that the event was wet fat. It was a dream of the costume, the colors, the everything. So my first performance when I did it, and I saw the crowd, it was like, this is the actual moment I saw in my vision. And the way how the crowd took to me, and I would say that stuck with me. And one-on-one with fans, some of the stuff that fans would say, especially like when traveling the first time, people coming and say, oh, I ain't come to Barbados for so long and you remind me so much of the culture and telling you about keep going and stuff like that. To me, it's more the interaction with the fans and how they take the music.
All right, no pressure, but you have to set the tone for the weekend with the next performance that will close out today's show. You're performing the song Juking. Who did you work with on this particular track?
This one I worked with Sir, which is Super Entertainment Records, and Simon Pipe, the legend, played the guitars on it and stuff. And you're going to get a couple part of what we would say the 50 years of Crop Over.
All right, that's beautiful. When we come back, Stabby is going to jump on the entertainment stage and perform to close out Morning Barbados for today, Friday. Stay with us.
Calling all Soccerholics, the highly anticipated soccer pop-up party of the season is back. Follow us to a different location every Friday night from 8 p.m. from May 10th to June 14th for the Barbados Lottery White Oak Rum 98.1 The One Soccer Stock Pop-Up Party. We bring you the music and giveaways, and you bring the vibes and the action.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308, and don't miss a single six, wicket, or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
Yes, sir. When you mix these spools with the bashment. Tell your mother don't say you don't hear. You should tell your mother don't say you don't hear. Cause everybody chucking out, 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 she should say you're walking out, 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 walking. These just gonna kill you, chucking out, 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 chucking. No, walking out, 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 walking. No time to dilly dally, bumper big and roll like a mother sally, jockey down bumpers plenty annually. You shoulda listened to your mother, baby. Your mother don't worry about doing here. Bumpers and bodies doing here. And if you been doing here, we can left your bumper block it and ask for the ways there. Walking out, 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 walking. Put a walk up in it, chucking out, 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 like the land shape. Forward, 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 back, and to the left, and to the right. Move, forward, 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 back, to the left, and to the right. Put a walk, walking on, move your waist, face your face, help your waist. When you run your bumper, push stronger, you walk it longer. Give it manner. Let the thing up. Bend over, bend over. Why not then bend over, bend over? Why not then turn over? Make the thing now fall like a turnover. You know that I coming. When they get your body, and they get your body truck. Ice up your foot. Get ready now, girl, for study what? I can give you no rubber, but arm for your head, no arm for your head. Top down for the floor, no arm for your butt. You just never stop. I can left it for the floor like a Christmas mark. But it's chucking at it, 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 chucking at it. You come here to drink milk, or you come here to come cold. Your mother shut up. She should say you don't hear that these walk-ups. Happy crop over 50 years. Oh gosh. Happy 25th to you.
No.
20 for me.
Oh my goodness. This song is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. All right. So we want to remind you of what's coming up. The 98.1 The One Barbados Lottery White Oak Rum Soca Pop-Up Party. It's coming off tonight at Sip and Lick Bar in 6 Min. St. Peter is the next location for the 98.1 crew to head out. Versy Wild will be there, DJ Mad Vibes and Champion Crown. They're bringing the party vibe. Then the Heritage Road Show is coming up tomorrow, Saturday as well. It is going to be at Hero Square from 9:30 to 3 o'clock. staff and volunteers of the department, the Division of Culture, they're going to be there to be a part of that. We have South Rum and Soca from 10 o'clock in the morning, another initiative of 98.1 FM. We're going to be at First and Last Bar, Upper Carlton, St. James. So come on out and be a part of that with the Hyperactive team. That's also live on 98.1 FM. Plus, Cricket Shots is happening. DJ Ras is going to be out and about tomorrow night. He's going to be at Brianna Drive, Westbury Road. So you can watch and party and come on out and be a part of that. And of course, Kelly Cadogan's Walking in My Own Shoes, the vocal showcase, is coming up on Sunday night at the Frank Cullimore Hall. That's it from us for today, for Morning Barbados, and for this week. We'll see you again on Monday. Stabby, Michael Boyne is going to teach me some moves.
I tell you, you run your bumper, the bus rock bumper stronger. I want you more longer. Don't play games with my daughter. You know how to the sauna. I'm playing for Daytona. Get the thing hard like supernova. My gal, when you bend over, bend over. Bend over, bend over, bend over. Why not then turn over? Meditate now, fall like a turnover. You know that coming. When they get your body burn and they get your body truck. Hoist up your leg, girl, hoist up your foot. Get ready now, girl, first study walk. I can give you no rubber, wake up, wake up, Barbados, get up. Good morning.